In today's episode of Kneppy Invests, I'm going to take a look at two companies on the ASX that more than likely you have never heard of. And that's not a bad thing because there are over 2,000 companies on the ASX and there is no way you would have heard of every single company. It's almost an impossibility because if you looked at 7 companies per day, it will still take you 1 year to have a look at every single company, and then there will be maybe 200 companies that will IPO during the next year. Maybe that's a little bit too much because in 2021, over 200 companies did IPO, but that was a record. So there are a lot of companies we can take a look at. And the whole point of me doing these videos is to share ideas with you. Now, the two companies that I'll be featuring in today's video are quite obscure. I had heard of these companies before, but I had never looked at what these companies did. One of the companies has been on the ASX for 20 years, has gone through a name change, while the other company has only been on the ASX for 1 year. So the two companies I'll be taking a look at in this video are Total Brain, Realize Your Inner Power. They're not talking about superpowers, they're talking about your brain. Now, this is the company that went through a name change. I actually do know this company as Brain Resources. They listed on the ASX in 2001 and really haven't done much in the last 20 years. And the company that did list on the ASX about 1 year ago is Nexion Group. There are different reasons why I've decided to look at these companies, and I suppose I'll talk about those reasons during this video, but they are of interest to me. They have popped up on my radar. I have put both companies onto my watch list, but we can remain patient right now, in my opinion, because of one simple reason, and that reason is the chart. We'll have a look at the charts for both companies. Also take a brief look at what these companies do. It's pretty obvious what one company does, Total Brain. Nexion, on the other hand, I'm still trying to grasp exactly what they do, but they are growing at a fairly good rate when you just look at their revenue. We'll also have a look at their most recent quarterly report. So let's get stuck into it. And the first company I want to look at is Total Brain, Realizing My Inner Power. Total Brain is all about the Total Brain app. This company has an app which allows individuals, including you and me, to self-monitor brain capacities, screen for mental health risks, and improve overall mental health and brain performances using self-care exercises that apparently are scientifically proven to improve overall brain capacity and mental health. So if you want to become smarter, well, I don't think they're talking about that, but if you want to use your brain more efficiently, maybe the Total Brain app is for you. A couple of quotes from their presentations, from their Appendix 4C, maybe even from the website. It is the world's first mental health self-monitoring and self-care system powered by the largest standardized brain database. It also mentions that it benefits employers, large organizations, and insurers, which include productivity improvements and healthcare cost reduction. So they're not quite or only aiming for people like you and me, but they're also aiming towards large organizations on the belief that this can improve a company's productivity and improve quality of life, because if you improve healthcare costs and that sort of thing, improve brain health, more than likely that will also improve overall health of the employee. Now let's have a look at Total Brain's most recent Appendix 4C, and this is the reason why this company popped up onto my radar. I had never looked at this company before this most recent Appendix 4C, and we'll have a look at the recent run of Appendix 4C or cash receipts, and you'll be able to see why. But this one was interesting because in this particular quarter they received almost $4 million of receipts, and they were operational cash flow positive. And this is the first thing I look for in terms of a company reaching an inflection point, becoming operational cash flow positive in one quarter. And then hopefully they can continue that in the following few quarters. And if they can, I believe that is a potential inflection point. The next thing I'd like to see is a company becoming free cash flow positive. So you take into account stuff like capital expenditure. Now, Total Brain also spends money on intellectual property. It seems like that is an ongoing cost as well. So you have to take that into account. But in this most recent December quarter, Total Brain was operational cash flow positive by $917,000, but they were not free cash flow positive. They had other costs in financial activities, and what's the other one? Financial activities, and there's operating activities, financial activities, and investing activities. So they did spend money in financial and investing activities, and because of that, they were not free cash flow positive. Now, the other maybe exciting point about Total Brain is they only have a market cap of $15 million. That's at a share price of 11.5 cents. They have $4.6 million of cash, but they also have $3.4 million of debt. That is a slight red flag in my opinion. So things are looking better than it has in the past for this company, just for the fact that they were operational cash flow positive in this one quarter. But the one thing that I did notice in this particular quarter is receipts to customers was nearly $4 million in this particular quarter. But last quarter, they were struggling to get to $500,000. So there was a potential that this sort of pop in receipts in this one quarter could be just a one-off. And I'd want to do a little bit more research on Total Brain to see if the company could continue this momentum in the next few quarters. So let's have a look at the cash receipts history, and you'll be able to see what I mean by this pop in receipts in this one quarter. I've been tracking Total Brain's performance, cash receipts, since the December quarter 2018, and really not that exciting, to be honest with you, from the December quarter 2018 to the September quarter 2021. We have seen a couple of quarters, good quarters, back in 2020 and then 2021, where we did see receipts rise, but then it fell back. And in fact, the most recent quarter, actually not the most recent quarter, but the September quarter 2021, receipts was only $550,000, which was their lowest on record, not on record, the lowest since I had been tracking them since December 2018. But then all of a sudden, receipts went from $550,000 to $4 million. Now, it would be good if that sort of climb in receipts can continue, even accelerate. That would be awesome, because this company would be seriously undervalued. But the market has not reacted to this particular quarter. You already see that in the chart. So I think the quarter knows something, that this could be just a one-off, and more than likely, the receipts in the next few quarters will fall back quite a bit. Now let's have a look at the daily chart for Total Brain. This goes back to around about August 2019. So it includes the COVID-19 financial panic and leading up to the panic. And there was a fair bit of excitement in Total Brain leading up to the the COVID-19 financial panic, because the share price rose from about 20 cents all the way to about $1.20 in around about 4 months. So something exciting must have happened in the company around that point in time. A little bit of hype, and you can see what happens when there is a little bit of hype. Share price can go on a serious run. But usually when a share price goes on a serious one, you need to have, or the company needs to show some financial backing to justify that run in the end. And Total Brain haven't done that at this point in time, and we have seen the share price pull back. During the heights or the depths of the COVID-19 financial panic, Total Brain share price got to a low of about 25 cents. Unfortunately, that has not been the low over the past 2 years. It has fallen to its all-time low recently at 11.5 cents. In fact, it fell below 10 cents for a brief period of time. But in saying all that, the share price has been going sideways for the last 3 months. So a short period of consolidation with the share price. But that does not mean anything. The next movement in the share price could be down again, another leg down, but it could be up. Maybe we will see a breakout in the share price. The other thing to take into account here is the market did not react to these quarterly results. So the market does not expect this sort of quarter being operational cash flow positive to continue in the future, because share price has not broken out. So we still need some good financial news from this company. If they can release another operational cash flow positive in the current quarter, that could be the catalyst for a re-rating in Total Brain's share price. Probably have to do a little bit more research. Why was there a pickup in receipts in the most recent quarter? But at this point in time, the reason I'm not doing the research is simply because of the chart. The chart is not telling me that the market is excited about this company just yet. I need some signs that the market is becoming excited about Total Brain. But just for the fact they were operational cash flow positive makes this company interesting. Now to Nexion Group. This company has only been on the ASX for about a year, and I could not tell you what this company does, apart from they're all about hybrid cloud hosting. They do have a data center, I believe, in Perth, but other than that, I could not give you an elevator pitch in regards to this company. So I'll try to let the company speak for themselves. On the top here, we have an about the company, and this is the company, what they do in their own words. So Nexion is an information technology service provider that offers network, compute, and data storage as a service, that it integrates with public cloud services to form Nexion's hybrid cloud solution called Nexion One Cloud. Nexion sells its One Cloud capacity and technology management services to enterprise customers on term contracts up to 60 months, blah, blah, blah. They have three sort of divisions here, or parts of the business: Nexion Networks, Nexion One Cloud, which is their data center, Nexion W1DC, and Nexion Pacific. Now, even though I don't know exactly what this company does, something must be working, because when we have a look at their cash receipts over the past 4 quarters, it's going up. So this company is performing, but this company is not on the radar of many investors on the ASX. And in fact, I just probably should mention this right now, I actually did join Strawman, and I went to the Nexion Group's Strawman page. There is not one single person following this company, not one single person holding this company. So that's the reason I consider Nexion Group to be obscure, because no one noticed or no one knows this company exists, it seems like. Anyway, so not exactly sure what this company does. I can't give you an elevator pitch, but that's probably my own deficiencies, not this company's deficiencies, because when we have a look at the cash receipts history, things are looking good for Nexion Group. But before we get to the cash receipts history, let's go have a look at the most recent quarterly report. Receipts to customers, 1.9 million, and year to date, 3.1 million, which means receipts grew from about 1.2 million to 1.9 million quarter on quarter. And the company was only operational cash flow negative by 496,000. So they are approaching, in the previous quarter, they were actually operational cash flow negative by about 1.2 million. So if they can continue growing receipts at the rate they did grow over the past quarter, this company could become operational cash flow positive fairly soon. So they listed on the ASX just about 1 year ago, February 2021. The market cap of this company is only $11 million. That's at a share price of 13.5 cents. They also have $4 million of cash and no debt, which means the enterprise value of this company is $7 million. And that's one of the reasons why this company is interesting. Enterprise value of $7 million, almost operational cash flow positive, and a good growth in receipts or revenue over the past year since they've been an ASX listed company. So let's have a look at the cash receipts history. We only have 4 quarters of history, but those 4 quarters of history shows a potential trend developing with this company's cash receipts. Only 4 quarters of history, but it's been a great 4 quarters for Nexion Group, increasing receipts from 530,000 to 1.9 million. That's quadrupling in receipts in 1 year. I'd get really excited if receipts for this company can climb well into the $2 million range in the current March quarter. And if the market remains unaware this company exists, that could be a really good time to take a position in this company, particularly if the enterprise value of Nexion Group still remains around $7 million. So even though I know nothing about this company, what I'm looking at this company right now is just how receipts are growing. And that will tell us that whatever they're doing is working. And that's the most important thing about Nexion Group. Unfortunately, the market does not know Nexion Group exists. And you can just see that with the chart. And this is their life on the ASX. And when this company did list, there was a little bit of excitement, to be honest with you. Over the first 2 weeks this company traded, we saw pretty big volume compared to what we've seen over the past year. And in fact, the share price rose to a high of about 40 cents about 5 or 6 days after this company started trading. But then the interest just waned away, just fell away. I'm not sure why. And the share price has just been trickling down and down, or say drifting down and down. And that is a sign that no one is interested in this company, because no one is taking a position as a share price drifts down and down. What you want to see here is an increase in volume, which would tell us that someone in the market is getting excited about where the share price is. And a few days ago, the share price of Nexion got down to around about 10.5 cents. And then there was a little bit of buying, not a lot, but a little bit of buying. But right now, the share price of Nexion is at 13.5 cents. 10 cents is not far away. And to be honest with you, the more this falls, the more interesting Nexion Group gets, particularly if they can get very close to being operational cash flow positive in the March quarter. I would even think about taking a position in this company, even if the negative sentiment that we see right now remains around, even if the share price is in a downtrend, because this could be just a real cheap value play. That's all I have for this video on 2 obscure companies. This is a part of my 100 interesting stocks series, and these are the 12th and 13th companies I've had a look at. If you want any more information on these companies, I probably would recommend going to their websites, having a look at some of the presentations they have released, or maybe just putting in a question in the comment section of this video. I can't guarantee I will be able to answer your questions because I have a lot going on right now in my life. So the last thing I should mention is I'm not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a great day.